All right, and welcome back to Moon's Remorse. Last session, quite a bit happened in the resistance front. They moved from the tavern, where Berwyn Grabbletoes has mustered some dwarves together. They traveled to the northern portion of the city, only to travel back down to the southern portion of the city in the intent of making it to the Great Church to meet with known resistance or known alive people who are non-conglomerate. The Great Church seems to be protected by some sort of strong magical barrier that stops the conglomerate from assaulting it, specifically from their skyships. But they have learned that there are parties of five that are traveling out into the cities during the day, particularly. And apparently they are looking for something. And whatever they're finding, the leader of the conglomerate forces is sending down very massive, powerful, destructive spells upon specific locations, possibly being called down on intentionally. That said, during the end of your day at the Great Church, Jun ran out to give supplies to Berwyn's people and rushed back. On the way back, he noticed that there were a number of griffins flying out from the military ward of the city, heading up towards the ship. So just let me know whenever you guys want to talk. I mean, just talk amongst yourselves. Let me know what your plan is.
So can we just maybe summarize what we know from last time?
That's what I just did.
Well, like I could summarize like the four different options that we were.
Oh, yeah, certainly.
That kind of a thing. So we know that the red magear is Lena Albacoris. We have four different options. One is to find out what the conglomerate wants. One is to reestablish communication lines to Berwyn. One is to see what can be done to assist with the counterattack. And one is to find out what's going on inside the keep. And then you mentioned something about Obelet, where political prisoners might be kept.
Yep, that's accurate.
I still think we should establish contact with the armed military of the city, which I suspect is where those griffins are taking off from. We are going to make a resistance, though we need to unite pretty much Berwyn's forces, the church, and the city police. There's no point in trying to have these splintered attacks when we could be united.
Right. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Do you plan on leaving in the night while this attack appears to be going on, or are you waiting for the next morning?
Do we have a sense of whether it would be safer to travel without being detected during the night?
Do you?
Probably.
Their patrols are probably more sparse and less frequent during the night. They might have sentries up top, but probably
I
less
would imagine
foot
they're
patrols.
going to be distracted by the griffins.
Yeah.
Oh, also that.
Jeremy, roll
Right there.
a perception check for me real quick.
That is. I just shrank everything. I can't even read it. Someone check it.
10. A 10.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't see another soul out on the streets when you traveled to Berwyn and back.
Is there any way any of us can conceive that we can assist these griffin guys coming out of the military district?
They're attacking from the other side of the city. Basically, you're at one diagonal of
Sure.
a 10-pointed star, and they're at the farther end other diagonal that points also south. They've just ridden off and started. You can kind of watch if you'd like at this point, or do what you like besides.
Well, if they took to the sky, I don't think there's anything we can do other than watch.
Okay. If you do kind of watch the conflict, what you see happen is lots of griffins do make it onto the ship, and it appears they're starting to kind of siege the top of the ship. You see large bursts of energy kind of appearing out from it, bolts of lightning and blasts of fire, and it appears that the mages are kind of warding off the military folks. Several griffins are being kind of catapulted off of the side of the ship, but every so often you'll see members of the Magier, members of the conglomerate rather, being kind of discarded off the side as well. You're pretty sure that the battle looks pretty evenly matched, and then suddenly the griffins break off, the ones that are still remaining, and the riders remount and retreat back to the skies and head away. Jun, Isaac, and Lazarus, you can make history checks if you'd like.
16.
Okay.
10.
Okay.
Can't even see mine. 13.
Okay. So Lazarus and John, you're familiar with the Griffin Riders of Semeroth, and you know that their tactics are typically blitz tactics to enrage and force an attack on a defended location. They're dwarves, so they're not. This attack was obviously just like a raid kind of situation. They came in, did a bit of damage, and retreated. It doesn't look like they lost more than the opposition. It doesn't look like they lost less. It was a pretty even matching on the surface, or on the deck of the ship. The Griffin Riders of Semeroth retreat back to the military ward.
Do we see where any of the bodies of the conglomerate fall?
Make a perception check.
16?
You think you saw where one of the mages dropped? Since the ship is directly above the keep district, you're pretty sure it dropped in the courtyard at the front of the keep. There's a hole out of the courtyard that leads to the sewers that's connected to Bearwin's Tavern.
So how far is that from us?
I'd say about 12 blocks.
Okay. I guess to the others, I was thinking if we can get our hands on some of those robes, that might be helpful later.
I already have a uniform.
You do? Okay.
You would have
Did
known that.
What about
Did it
like,
appear
one-
that? Sorry,
like
go ahead.
communication stones? You know what I mean?
So the person that he cited as falling off was not a grunt or a guard or an armor. He was a mage in red robes that was discarded off the side. The one that he specifically cited falling near where I said was a wizard, not a fighter.
Should we go find this person?
It's in their stronghold in the city.
Yeah, he'd be like almost directly underneath the ship if he fell off it.
So you're thinking that they would come out and get him before we had a chance to get there?
If he had anything like valuable, like information, yeah, they would either incinerate his corpse, probably, or have send some drudge to come out and collect it before by the time we got there.
Okay.
The Griffin's tactic to sort of bait an attack out of them, does it seem like it's working? Are they making moves towards their location?
The only move that the ship has taken in this entire combat is initially its nose was pointing towards the northern portion of the city. As the griffins began to ride out, it spun around so that the point is now pointing to the southern portion of the city. Kind of think of the ship as a large hand of a clock being spun as the axis of the keep being like the center point of the city. It's now pointing in that direction, but a couple minutes have passed by this point, and it doesn't look like any activity has sprung up from the ship. Everybody make a perception check.
14,
19.
12, 11, 19.
Okay.
6.
You guys are kind of in the church, kind of, I assume in the Atavian church, and kind of looking outside of the city besides. Lazarus, something catches your eye as you're kind of looking up at the sky, taking into account. You look at a building that's across a large expanse. Basically, the church is surrounded by like an open kind of promenade, and then there are houses beyond that. You notice something just catches your eye and you move to look at it, and you only catch a glimpse of it, but it looks like a body of a person, a human standing over there. It looks like they're trying to avoid detection, so when you look at them, they kind of move aside. It looks like they're wearing all black, and the only glint of any other color besides black you see is around the eye area.
Ninjas.
Yeah, what? So I alert the others and tell them what I saw. Should we perhaps investigate said individual?
He's like sneaking around the outside of the church.
He tries to point him out, and you don't see anything. In fact,
Oh.
Lazarus doesn't see anything anymore.
Wow.
They're sneaking, sneaky sneakers around.
All right. So just tell me what you guys are doing. If you guys are waiting and watching the ship, not much happens in the evening. Nothing really changes.
Well, I still think we should try to get coordinating with that military force, at least see what they're trying to do, like what their long-term goals are. Because they're just gonna bash bodies against the Star Destroyer. I don't think that's a good plan.
But the where they're coming from is on the whole other end of the city. It's going to take us quite a while to get there, right?
And there's no sewer access that leads directly to it. So it's either overground or the long route, which could take all night.
We should just go to bed.
I think before we should do that, we should secure our sort of base of operations. If Lazarus saw something that could be dangerous for everybody here, there's quite a few civilians
So-
staked out inside the fold as well, right?
I'm not getting through the barrier.
That's
But
accurate.
yeah, there's a barrier of you better be a good guy, and then an even bigger mystical barrier of we don't get fireballed.
Right. The church is pretty safe. But the space where he's kind of saying, this is where I saw that, is like 200 or 300 feet away. There's like an open expanse with the occasional like garden space set in the stone. Basically like a campus promenade around the church.
If you think the defenses will stand, I suppose we could use the rest.
Okay. Taking a long rest then. The elf doesn't require as much sleep as the rest of you. The half-elf does. But Ithel, as you're kind of trancing and meditating, kind of focusing on the world, you get this sensation, and the window seems to have a bit of moonlight kind of trailing into it, kind of shining on you and anyone who's close to you. Just feels very, I don't know, it just feels embracing and kind of nice.
Okay.
But yeah, if you guys don't really do much besides sleep and get ready, Ithel, you're the first one really awake, and you notice that the ship above the keep is starting to move southward towards the military district. Slowly, just creeping in that direction.
I would definitely want to mention that to the others. Maybe wake up Isaac and start with him.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on? I've been shaken awake.
Yeah, it looks like the ship is going to the military district. South.
Well, if what we've seen so far, they're probably about to get sieged by those fireballs. So,
Right.
what are judging from how fast it's moving, like, do we think we could get there before the ship got there?
If you straight bolt across the cityway, yeah. You can move through alleyways. You might be arriving just a little bit late, but it'd be a lot safer than trekking out in like the main thoroughfares. If you try the sewer game, it's going to be a gambit, and it's going to be a gambit that requires you to go north to go south, and you're certainly not going to make it.
Well, now we have to figure out if we want to try to warn them, or if we just are going to trust them to evacuate themselves, because they
I'm
must
sure
they must
can
notice.
see it.
Yeah, they must notice that it's coming.
They wanted this fight.
Right.
Or do we want to get close enough to to get in proximity so that we could help them if a ground fight does break out?
I want.
I like the idea of that. Sort of come in from behind.
Yeah, like if they're not gonna completely just blow up the military base, they may send ground troops, and we could assist in that way.
And it
Right.
would help us to bolster the resistance, build stronger ties across the city.
Yeah, this is all, of course, gambling that they're not just gonna throw meteors at it.
Tick tock goes the clock. Are you going or going?
We're going, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I think it would be unwise to just let them
Main
carry
thoroughfare,
do nothing.
alleyway, or the attempt to go into the sewers to arrive a bit late, quite a bit late. You're either going to arrive ahead of time, just about on time, possibly a little late through the alleyways, or really late by going the sewer way, but safe.
Alleyways, otherwise
Alleyways.
what's the point?
Yeah, alleyways. So right on. I guess that's the right on time, right?
Right on time, just a little late. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if we're just a little late, at least we won't get caught in an explosion.
There you go.
John, make a. Go ahead and make me a survival check with advantage. Okay.
23.
You know the best route. You know the most certain route, and you take it. As you're gaining close to the military ward, and you're kind of like at the area where it kind of traverses from city backways to more like places in between warehouses for the military, you see that there's kind of a series of lights up ahead. And the morning, despite having traveled for quite a while across the city, it's still a dark, kind of cool, foggy morning. Up ahead, you can see that there's a lantern hanging off of one building. You're passing by some crates and barrels, and there are a couple of lights up on the streets kind of lighting the way in the expanse between the two districts, which is only about 100 or so feet, not too much of a jump. But there's also a tree kind of at the end of this alleyway, and standing underneath the end of that tree, or standing underneath that tree, is a mage wearing red garb. Hold on a second. Actually, not red garb, yellow garb. Apologies. Hold on a second here. Boo boo boo. NPC. Got a handout somewhere. Hold on.
I believe in you.
I'm the best dungeon master. No, I don't have the handout. I'll get it here in a second. It's it's a mage, female. She's kind of wearing a long coat, and there's yellow spattered about her attire, black and yellow, and her shirt blouse is kind of opened a bit, and you can see that there's like a scar or some sort of tattoo on her chest that appears to be a strange kind of marking. Have you dealt with cultists yet?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I would point it out to Ithel and the L5s, though.
Okay. As they kind of point out this woman, you can see the top end of the draconic rune for the letter A tattooed or scarred into her chest.
Sherry Draconic, come on.
You read Draconic?
Yeah.
Yes, it's the letter A. That's all you would know it as, but it has
Yeah, but I
relevance.
know it. I know it. Obvi.
And I think Ethel recalls that from the very first session, right?
Yeah, the cultists have their symbol is that. Yeah.
Okay.
Who is it?
So I would explain what I saw at that during her encounter with what was that other dwarf's name who helped her? In any case, that encounter with the cultists.
Okay.
Cultist of what?
Hold on.
These are like the evil dragon cultists that worship Ashmedea, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they bait.
But you weren't certain, or even there shouldn't even be a reason why there's one present.
Yeah. But there's also a reason why she should even be alive. She should just get deaded real quick.
Oh, for sure. She doesn't appear to have any.
my enemy situation.
She doesn't appear to have any weapons drawn, and she's kind of looking down the alleyway, like towards your guys' direction. This isn't as beautiful a picture because I haven't gotten to background it or frame it, but here, this is what she looks like.
Pass.
Oof.
Okay. Is that a tattoo on her chest?
It appears to be a closer inspection from the elf, some sort of scar.
Is it like bleeding like that, or is that just for dramatic?
It does actually appear to be fresh as you kind of focus in on it.
So,
She could be a friendly.
now what are we doing with this?
And do we run past her, or do we?
Is there anything behind us that she's looking at, or is she looking at us?
She just looks down. She's looking down the alleyway. She hasn't spotted you. If you want to kind of advance closer to see if she's present, then yeah, you can try that.
I think that she's here for a reason. I think we ought to try to detain her. So Ithil is going to just describe what she found on her first adventure, when she encountered the cultists. There was a note that she found that talked about desertion and continued harassment of the town's squallow after failed attempt to summon the Nildrazu are not warranted at this time. Expect your end to come soon, Calarith. And I think that... Go ahead.
Who dropped him video?
Jeremy.
That villain.
In any case, so Ithil will be worried that she somehow be connected to some bad stuff that's happening.
Oh, let's grab her.
Yeah, I think so.
So
By grab, I mean, are we gonna try to like magically bond her, or should we like just rush straight tackle her ass?
Straight tackle. Unless you have an easy way to magically grab her.
How far away is she?
hold on.
All right, here's the plan. Cypress, you turn into an octopus. I throw you at her, and then you grapple her.
Nice.
You can
That is
attempt to
exciting.
perfectly, but it's the only magical way to subdue her I've got.
We've lost John
Wait, which
from
spell?
the...
Just to like trip her out?
Sleep? Or I mean, I could do some illusion shit to try and trip her out, but
Like I could always command her to like prostrate or something. I don't know. We have options. I just don't want to bust spell slots right now because I don't really have a lot of them, and I'd rather smite things. 'Cause that's what I'm good at.
Do we have an idea of her distance from us?
Yeah, hold on a second, sorry.
Okay.
If John has the lead, it's about 65 feet away from him.
John is currently out.
I know. But he's basically been leading the group, so what I'm saying
Right.
is from the front of the party,
Right.
65 feet.
It'd be hard to.
And it's just open ground between us. There's not really much obstruction we can
I'm trying to get the battle
utilize to
map.
cover.
I'm trying to get the battle map set up, so I'm also having issues, just like Jeremy.
It's alright.
Give me 1 second
worries.
here. For some reason, it didn't save the token.
If
and-
possible, we could ask Jen to stealth ahead and to sneak up behind her or some such thing.
Can you text him, Zach,
Yeah.
real quick and find out what's going on?
Oh, he
His
just...
internet
okay.
went dark, is that right?
Yes.
There's an outage in the area.
Ah.
He's probably on his phone.
Interesting. Okay.
Just tell him we're gonna NPC his character to full-on attack.
Wait, are we trying to capture her or just slit her throat?
No, I think we want to talk to her, right? We want to find out
Yeah,
information.
because if
from
he can
her.
just get behind her and put a knife to her throat, then she might come just willingly. Well, not willingly, but under duress. She might cooperate. But yeah, he could sneak up behind her, put a knife to her throat, and get her, and then pull her back into the alleyway.
To try.
I'll try to get in range if we need to. If things don't go as planned.
Or do you have like a entangling roots or something?
Yeah. I've got that. I've got the thorn whip. If we need to close the gap.
Oh yeah, you could yank her towards us, and then we
Yeah.
could.
Okay, so he's got an outage, so we're gonna NPC him. It's terrible timing.
It looks like he's coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, he may actually
He
be
just
using the
now
phone
came back
tether.
into roll 20.
Then we'll wait a couple seconds, I guess.
Okay.
I'd prefer the player have agency when deciding whether or not they're going to try and do something stupid.
Oh,
Oh.
we don't do it.
No, I mean, I didn't mean like it's dumb because the person you're sneaking up on. That's not what I was hinting at. I mean to say like it's obviously a risky maneuver, right? He may fail. I don't want him to, elect to be the guy who goes. You know what I mean?
He's in the roll 20 chat. I don't know if he's able to.
Discord or Zoom.
Right. He's good to sneak up on her.
He says he'd do it.
Okay. All right.
He's rolled stealth.
Fun stuff. Okay, what do you get? What do you get?
13.
Okay. Steve, can you click your camera off and then click it back on? And then right after he's done with that, Kevin, can you do the exact same thing?
How do I do that? Stop video?
Yeah. No, it moved to. I did it the wrong order. Never mind. The positionings are wrong on the video. That's just going to be the case.
Who am I now?
You're Jeremy and Kevin's Steve. Okay, anyways, map.
Now I get to be a rogue.
Do you see the map?
Yes.
Sweet.
So yeah, he's sneaking up to her.
He says he wants to sneak up to her and strike her down to take attention away from the rest of the party.
And what did he say he got on his stealth?
It was 13.
Okay. So he kind of gets to like right about there, and when he does so, he kind of like steps on a mouse's tail. It squeaks, and the woman kind of looks over in his direction, and he knows he's kind of caught out. As she kind of looks over at him, she kind of starts touching her chest, and she says, "Is that you, elvish priest? I know you're walking this way. She told me so."
Ithel would step out.
"I came for your sword." Give it over.
You came for my sword. Now, with this happening, and Ethel points to the ships in the sky.
Like, absolutely unconcerned, she kind of starts pulling her hand away from her chest. As she does so, blood starts to just kind of spill out of the wound onto the stone, and she pulls a single sword out of her chest. As the sword has been removed and the blood starts to pull away from the blade, you recognize that the hilt appears to be covered with dragon scale, and the blade itself appears to be made out of the nail of a dragon. When she has the blade out and about, she kind of raises it up to her face, and you hear this nasty sound kind of erupt from her back as 6 more blades just like it appear from her back.
Wait, what?
There are 6 swords floating behind her now that came out of her back, and
Is
there's
this like a sentinel sword?
single sword that she's holding in her hand that has the same kind of draconic fang blade to it.
Do you serve Calareth?
She looks to you all and she says one more time, "Surrender your sword or die."
Not today, Ethel says.
Jonah is drawing his rapier and prepping to dodge.
Same.
Okay.
Can I move forward and try to take cover behind the barrels in the alley?
Everybody can take a free movement, not action.
I don't see my token. Is it on the map?
I only see me.
We're at the very bottom.
Good.
Do you see yourself now?
No. Hold on. I'm sorry, I need to change browsers.
Okay. Well, once you've got it ready, everybody roll initiative.
How would you like Jen to do that?
I'd like him to have his internet back.
My god, the first time I rolled a double-digit initiative. Oh my lord.
Fine work. I'd be.
Oh. He's so fast. He's the
Yeah.
fastest crocodile on 2 legs.
Oh, he's able to roll. You got a 19. For Jen.
Oh. At hard 0, it's gonna cost her.
Not rolling.
Jen's not able to select his token, so he can't put himself on the turn order.
Curious if he's using Roll20 on his phone.
I did not know that was an option.
Yeah,
I thought that was like a special.
it's not the first option.
Oh, of course.
You should just turn on his phone's Wi-Fi and use it as like a tether. He's gonna be using his data anyways.
So Wilbur and Steve go and or no, sorry, not Wilbur. That's
Cypress goes first.
yeah, Cypress goes first.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the plan. I'm going to try to close the gap a little more. I can use my movement to get around this few boxes in front of me, right?
Well, you're going over a building. You need to go back and around the building.
I can't see anywhere around me, I'm sorry. and nothing else. It's pitch black below Jin. Thank you. Ah, I see. So I would have started a little closer for that free movement, if that's okay.
How are you? You see the building, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
We had the free movement when we first
Yeah,
saw her.
I know, but you still have to fly
Right.
and 25 third. Not.
No, I understand. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to use the turn movement.
Okay. Yeah, it's your turn now.
Okay.
Sorry.
No.
I didn't know there was dynamic lighting on.
Can you put me on the track?
Good.
20.18. And she's in range. I'm going to go ahead and cast Thornwood. Reel her in closer.
As the
For a
lift
9.
comes in close to her, the wings on her back that are made out of these bloody dragon blades move in front of her to like form a shield. Two of them allow the whip to enter in and snap the tip of it off, kind of throw it back. Then the swords snap back into their position, dancing and flying around them. That's what they had in mind.
Alright. I'll go up here and I'll say to her, I will give you this one mercy and allow you to surrender yourself. You are clearly outmatched here. And as I draw my blade, I'll bonus action Divine Favor, so it's glowing with Holy Radiance, and then I'll take the dodge action.
She can't move away from you, but besides that. Wait, hold on. Divine favor?
This makes my sword extra smitey.
Right. Yeah, she doesn't seem to care. And there's no
No, it's for my own. I know I gave her a chance, so I don't
I
want to
know,
feel
I know,
bad
I know,
about
I know.
putting my sword in her head.
Alright,
So I'm behind cover currently. And we'll pop out of cover. And I'll pop out of cover, one to the left, and I'm gonna fire my short bow and I'll pop back into cover. Just like close. Yes. 17.
that will miss. As the arrow comes coming in, or flying in, the sword kind of snaps it out of the air.
Really? Okay, and I'm gonna get back into cover.
June had rolled a 19 initiative.
You said it was able to roll. I rolled it. But yeah, Junk, you're up. And type the thing, but you type the thing.
Says he moves in ways to attempt to distract and then strike if it feels safe. And otherwise aid Isaac since he's closer.
And no bonus action to get closer.
I suppose not.
Okay. Lazarus.
Try and put her to sleep.
Don't roll dice. Just fail dice.
Okay.
Alright. On her hit So 2 attacks against. 2 attacks against.
John is trying to dodge.
And I'm also dodging.
Oh, Jun could have taken the dodge action, bonus action to aid, and the other one. And then
Okay, thank you.
you said you were doing what?
Yeah, my action last turn was to dodge.
So Jun gets hit for 7 slashing damage, and you get hit, Steve, for 11 slashing damage. Two of them missing. And then it looks like one of the swords is still positioned behind her, and one is off to her side, but they're kind of forming like a cross in between her, acting as if they were kind of a floating shield. Okay, it goes to her turn. She kind of raises the sword up, kind of pulls it close to her face. When she does so, all the swords move back into position behind her. They do so without drawing on.
I'm going
Little
to.
over.
You said he wasn't able to cast sleep.
When he cast sleep, it happened. The spell was cast. She didn't seem to be affected by it.
Okay. I'm going to cast Dust Devil and plant it on her left, our right.
It's 5 foot wide.
Yes.
Her left, your right. So here.
Yeah, immediately next to it. Yeah, thank you.
You have to pull over that. And then you can do that end its turn within 5 feet of the next level. So,
And I'm going to take an extra couple steps towards it.
Isaac.
Alright, so I don't want to get near the wind. So I'll go over here. I see what it's trying to do. But yeah, I'll take see if I can get through this blade barrier, or maybe even maybe at least destroy one of them. I'll take a shot. It's gonna be a 22.
So she does get hit, but the blades do kind of enter in and kind of seem to be the blunt of the defense. You know you just narrowly hit them. Go ahead and pull the
So 10, 1 radiant damage.
She doesn't seem to be terribly put off by the damage. It's almost as if she, like, the pain that you may have caused her after slashing her face a bit, doesn't seem to care.
That's my turn.
Yep. And she has no armor on, but she is very hard to hit.
Is it because the swords keep getting in the way?
Fifth.
Berg, we're going to move up.
Sounds like he's back in the Discord.
And I'm going to cast Shield of Faith.
Jeremy, let me know when you're about to end this. Sorry to cut you off.
No worries. If okay,
Yeah, he's going to, if he feels safe enough, try to hit and then bonus disengage.
Can he roll it or should I?
Roll to 15.
Misses. She deflects the blow.
Did he
He only
attack
gets one
twice?
attack.
Okay.
The attack is blocked.
And then disengage.
And he's going 30 away.
He's going to stay close.
Okay. Lazarus.
I suppose I try and fireball.
Misses. The blades are still kind of folding up in front of her, and they kind of just dance and bounce against the plate that is the number of swords in front of her. Alright. The swords will be taking another movement action, but each one of them kind of reinserts its handle back into her back. And you hear sickening pops as they re-enter and kind of graze against bone. Then they kind of dash forward with her attached. Here. And then to here. Moving out and around. Opportunity attack, but at disadvantage.
I have aid, so just normal. 16.
As you kind of look to her and kind of like, slash at her, her own sword hand kind of raises up and blocks the blade, kind of pushes your sword away like that, pushing a turnstile as you enter into the subway. Nope. And she heads over to that position. When she gets there,
Did she get close enough for me to try and
she went around you.
Okay, I wasn't sure how.
Yeah, she bounced. She flew. She hit the wall with her feet. She bounced off the wall and landed in the pile of boxes. And then once she gets there, you hear the sickening pop as the sword handles relieve themselves of her back. She takes her sword. She swings it like a golf club. And as she does so, all of the blades floating behind her follow in sync with the sword that she's swinging. Each one of them battering into a single box, which is then hurled at you, Blizzard. Make a dexterity saving.
Cool. 9. With shield, I was able, with shield master, I was able to add the AC of the shield.
Yeah, so
The dex saves,
a little
it's
high.
11.
It's not high enough. Basically, this huge crate filled with heavy material comes slamming into you. It breaks on your form. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage as she just batters this thing right into you. And then as she kind of refocuses back, the sword kind of swoops back to behind you. You're up.
I'm going to give up on Dust Devil, and I'm going to cast Heat Metal on the sword that she's actually carrying.
It doesn't affect it because it's made out of dragon scale and dragon. So
Oh, hell.
you watch the spell basically go off, and the sword kind of appear red for a second, but it seems that the scales are a bit red already, and it doesn't seem to harm you. Okay. So you want to move?
Yeah, I'm going to interpose between,
John and her.
no, her and Ithel.
Okay. Speaking of Ithel, or speaking of Steve, I think you're out.
Okay. I'm gonna get back in my spot in her face. Her swords have been like
Hold on a
deflected.
second. Move back to your position.
What's that?
Yeah. So any square that it's touching, you have to move it. For the purpose of control. 5 feet off the ground, so she has high ground.
Do we notice the swords that are flying behind her, because they've been deflecting blows and arrows and those such, do they look any worse for wear? Like they may have been taking, like, they're pretty, like, pristine still.
Yeah. But it does look like, they're made loosely out of dragon scale, and they appear to be like just very rudimentary hilts that have been built to kind of hold these dragon forms that are the sort of things.
I was gonna say, I was gonna try attacking a sword and see if I could break it,
Go for
but am I close enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to do it. I'll attack a sword that's close enough to be attacked.
Okay. They are currently showing behind her, but that's just to reference that she's got them in lean mode effectively, but they are in the same square as her. So, what was your attack?
I will do it right now. It's gonna be a 17 against the sword.
That'll hit. Okay. And is this from a magical or non-magical weapon?
It's a non-magical longsword, and then 4 radiant damage.
No big deal.
But
It's,
that's 11.
when you hit it, you start to see, like, where you hit it, basically the hard material of the nail kind of cracks, and you can kind of see the interior flesh of the nail, which is softer than the exterior, like, hard portion, kind of, like, breaks out of it. It looks like the damage is pretty low, but the second you do, you see all of the swords kind of shuffle behind her, and make a perception check.
14.
You're not sure you can spot that one out.
Oh, so it's magical hats.
Alright, Ithel. Unless you have anything else,
I guess as a free action, since this seems to be somewhat effective, better than our attacking at nothing, I'll say, like, destroy her defenses, destroy the swords.
she kind of leans down towards you, and the swords are kind of like narrowing, spinning hilt over, or blade over hilt, pointing at you. And she says, "You're such a smart little knight, aren't you?" Ithel.
Yep. Ithel is going to squeeze by Cypress. Move aside June momentarily and cast Healing Word.
On Jun?
Isn't Jun injured?
No.
He's taken something.
He took less than
Cypress is
Isaac. He took
Who is
7.
the-
Isaac took the most.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
so
it's either Isaac or Cypress.
Oh, I guess
Cypress.
I did. Yeah, I took some damage, but it was reduced because I have heavy armor master, so I'm still good. You know.
okay, so that I will touch Cypress and
I'm good until I'm knocked out.
for 10.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, now
Yeah.
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 Cool. Yeah, I can't get back in the Zoom, but I'm here.
Okay, I've got a placeholder that says my name in your box. So anyways,
So I'm going next to Cypress. I'm going to touch him, give him some heals. I'm going to cast Bless on the group.
you already cast a spell.
That's
level.
so the Healing Word is a bonus action.
Yeah, you cannot cast 2 spells of level type. Anything higher than a cantrip. You can cast a cantrip with your action now. You cannot cast another spell.
God damn it. Okay. Hold on. I'm still learning.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. You haven't played a spellcaster really very much at all.
Never. And so we're gonna retcon that a little bit, right?
You don't want a healing word.
So we're doing. Yeah. No, it's okay. I'm still gonna do the Healing Word. That's
Okay.
fine. When I get to here.
As you're pulling away, she does look over at you and she says, "Hand over the sword or watch them all die one by one." And she's looking down. She's still like kind of looking at you, but she looks more at Isaac. And as she's leaning over him, you kind of notice too that the swords are getting ready to they're like cobras on her back, ready to just lance out at him. But it's your action. She just wants the sword, dude.
I know. Yeah, so as I go by Isaac, so I'm going to touch Cypress and heal him. As I go by Isaac, I'm touching him
For guidance.
for guidance.
Okay. One
And I'm gonna
ability check.
Scoot around in the corner. I think I could do all that, right?
Yeah. Ability check, plus a d4 when you roll it. So if you try to like shove her, push her, anything like that, Isaac. Or if you try to resist such a thing. Jun.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's a real boy.
So she's surrounded in swords and
She has, yeah, she has 6 swords that are kind of floating over her back, and she's holding one sword. The swords appear to be like dancing swords or something, and she is kind of kicking your ass. Yeah.
Isaac's managed to damage one of the swords, but we lost sight of which one.
Right. When he attacked it, it looked like he hit it, but like the way they're shuffling, he wasn't able to see which one he hit, and no one was really paying attention at that point.
Okay, and the swords are deflecting the damage she would take.
It appears that's the case, or they're adding some sort of armor bonus to her.
Yeah, essentially deduce that we need to kill the ads, then kill a boss. And to put in gaming terms.
Yeah.
Can we just install ad blocker? Hey-oh.
Hey-oh.
Welcome back. We're so happy to have.
I miss the quiet time. You come in,
19.
attack her. The 2 swords on her right side drop and kind of catch your sword and push it away.
Wow, that was a pretty good swing and I missed.
You gotta attack the swords directly. Don't try to go for her, because then you'll get deflected.
Okay.
Attack the swords themselves.
Well, see, you gotta tell me these things. I'll bonus
did.
action disengage.
Okay. It goes to Lazarus.
I guess I try and shoot one of the swords with a firebolt this time, not her.
Okay.
14.
That'll miss the swords. Alright. It kind
Guess I'd
of,
be over here too.
yeah, it kind of dances off the roof behind her and kind of just skims across the tiles. Not really doing any damage to the house, but a dead-on miss. Alright, on her initiative, she raises her sword up in above her head, and all of the swords follow suit, kind of forming this long kind of line of blades, and she just swings her sword down. As she does so, all 6 of the blades come down at you, Isaac.
Turtle mode. I'm under the shield.
And you have a 20 AC right now with Shield of Faith?
21.
21, okay. Hit, miss, 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 hit, hit. So that'll be a total of 21 points of damage. Basically, the first one kind of catches you on the shoulder as you're getting your shield up. You get your shield up and you hear ting, 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 and then you kind of think it's over and you kind of move to the side. One kind of hits the head, one kind of hits the shoulder. And then when the blades come down, she kind of swoops them back around, and they snap back into the wing formation they had before. Once they do so,
As a reaction, can I perform a reaction?
yeah, if you want. What is it?
I'm gonna use my channel divinity and do my moment of courage on
Yes.
attacking one of the swords.
Okay.
Hopefully it's the one I already attacked, but
Roll.
I guess it's just gonna be random.
Roll a d6.
Six.
Make your attack.
With a 25.
Damage.
7 plus 4, and I'll do a smite because so I can heal off it.
Okay.
So 7, 3 from my whole radiant sword, and then 6 from the smite.
So
So that's 16 total, and then I'll heal for 6.
okay. You raise your shield up. Missing the first one, it kind of bites into you. You hit ting, ting, ting is what you hear. The third one hits you, or the fourth or fifth one hits you. The sixth one comes down on your shoulder. As it does so, you kind of reach out with your sword hand and kind of feel that moment of courage rising to the test. You hit the sword, and as you do so, the strike is so perfect it connects right where you had put a crack in it before, and you watch the sword get split in half and bounce across the field of battle in pieces. the main portion of it landing right about here.
Yeah, I'll look up at her, kind of smirk, and you'll find disciples of the straightest arrow are not so easily killed. Puppet of the Demon Queen.
As she kind of snaps back into her position, she's still holding the one sword and her wings are a bit off. She does push off the box she's standing on. The sword's snapping back into their position, and she will fly over you. You've used your reaction.
Yeah.
She lands next to Ithel,
Uh-oh.
and she will take her attacks. She raises the sword up high, but she's going to perform some sort of like hammer strike on you, like she kind of did with the dancing swords, but with her own melee hand. She grabs it with her offhand as well and brings the blade down even harder. And 19 hits your AC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're taking 16 points of damage.
Ouch.
Make a strength saving throw.
My favorite. 16?
If you kind of get lowered to your knee for a second and kind of raise back up. You were holding a crossbow, were you not?
Yep.
Yeah, you kind of catch it with the wood of the weapon, large cut in the wood but not damaging, and you kind of push back up and away instead of getting knocked to the ground, which you feel was her intent. All right, Cypress.
I'm going to bite one of the swords.
All right.
Yeah.
It's the best I got.
Brilliant. I don't see how this can fail.
Magic's not been in my wheelhouse today.
It
Like
isn't-
that shit.
Not been working. Make roll a 20-sided dice for me.
You got it, boss.
Oh, good thing crocodile teeth grow back.
Can't wait.
I
9.
think that's sharks.
Okay.
This hurts a lot.
You grab a hold of the blade for a second with your mouth, and you kind of don't get a chance to chomp down, but you do get a kind of pull on it. And when you kind of tug to the side, you whip the blade. The blade seems to cascade towards the back of the girl's head, and you're kind of like, yeah, feeling it. And then her head drops, and you see it slash across Ithel's cheek.
Oh,
Ithel take 3 points of slashing damage.
Ouch.
The sword snaps out of your mouth, kind of floats around your head, and goes back into its positioning. Steve, it is Isaac's turn.
I would like. Can I
Oh.
bonus action?
Yeah, you
My
bite
second
again.
bite. Yeah, I'm gonna bite that same sword if I could track it down.
Okay.
I'm a little upset at that one in particular. 11.
You kind of bite at it. It's like going around your head, and you just kind of like idly trying to catch it, but it's moved back into position. Isaac,
I can move into this position, right? Because the swords are actually on her square.
correct. I'll go ahead and move them since she's kind of turned anyways.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, as I run over, I'll just kind of try to rally our group. As I press the attack, brothers, protect the lady. And then I'll attack a sword. Whichever one's closest.
Okay.
24.
24 will hit.
Nice.
So that's 13, 17 damage.
He rushes in, and as he's coming up behind her, she's kind of looking over her shoulder. He swings wild and kind of hits one of the blades close to her spine. Hits it directly at where the blade meets the hilt and snaps the two apart, sending them both cascading away. The main portion of it lands here. All right, Ithel.
Ithel, yeah. Oh boy. I'm gonna do Cure Wounds on myself. I could do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
$14.
22. It increases by. Oh wait, I see what you did. Okay. 14's right.
and then drop my crossbow, put my hand on the misty dagger, and I'd like to teleport.
Away from her.
Yeah,
You can't see there. Misty Step requires sight.
I was there already, though, right?
You have to be able to see where you're going, not have seen where you're going.
Okay. Then right there.
Perfect. And then you can move into the position you wanted. Because you still have your
Oh,
movement.
okay. So I have additional movement. Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome.
You could get further down the tunnel away, yeah. Okay.
I don't want to put our wizard in too much danger. He needs to move. She's coming
Sure.
after me.
That's what it was. John, you're up.
I step up and smash a sword.
Okay. Attempt to. It,
15 to hit.
it basically riposts your attack.
Bonus action aid Isaac.
Okay. Lazarus?
I guess skirt over here and take another shot at a sword.
Okay. Firebolt.
Critical miss.
Roll a 20-sided dice.
Nine.
You fire the bolt off, and it goes screeing off towards the swords. And she's kind of turning and moving, so you're kind of trying to position them between Cypress and Isaac. But you fail and hit Cypress in the back of the head. Go ahead and click damage for Firebolt.
6.
Take
I
6
deserve
points of
that.
fire damage. Alright. She kind of snaps the sword in front of her again and kind of raises it to the side and then spins around. When she does so, all 4 of the remaining blades go circling around her in a burst of blade. I need Jun, Isaac, and Cypress to make strength saving throws.
Oh no.
2 net ones.
And
That's what
I'm indomitable.
Isaac saved us both with his super save.
I'm
Yeah.
sure he did.
I
I'm
put
sure
my
we're
arms out. I'm behind their backs, and I'm just like bringing like a big hug. I'm just like, don't worry,
got
boys. I
this.
got you. I got you, boys.
So, okay. And then there was Jeremy got the double Wilwer ones. So that would mean you guys are pushed back 10 feet. So Jun and Cypress. Isaac, you're not pushed. Those of you that failed the save take 18 points of slashing damage. Those of you who succeeded the save take half. And yeah. Hold on one second. Is that what you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
How do I do it?
Hold on. I need to take a second, just a second. I'll be right back.
Take that.
Who's the most hurt?
I think that's
Who's the most hurt?
25 damage.
I'm in
on, my
single
dude.
digits.
He can't do it alone.
Yeah.
Cumulatively, it's Jun.
Who needs the heals? June?
He's at 25 less.
Damn.
Yeah, give it to Jun.
And that was probably all recorded because my mic's going. Okay. And then once the blades are done, it goes to her turn. She'll take her attacks against Isaac. Go ahead and make a strength saving throw. She gets a 22 AC. Succeed. You take 13 points of slashing damage as she comes down on you with the sword in a two-handed attack. When it hits, you kind of catch it with your shield and kind of buckle down a bit to your knee and feel like she's trying to press you, basically crush you down, but you do not let her.
Damn straight.
Zach.
I'm going to get back in there and cast. Is Cure Wounds the touch?
Yeah.
No one's KO'd, right? Just
No, we're beat up a little bit, but nobody's down. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds as second level
On who?
on
On Isaac?
Isaac.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I guess I'll keep it off. If you're gonna heal me, then I'll stay on offense.
Yeah, Jun's also really wounded.
I'm gonna get John.
Don't worry about John. You know
It was
he's
not a
done.
great cure wounds.
Yeah.
Just first level, right? You said?
And I noticed you hadn't taken the damage from the sword burst, so I took the damage on you there, buddy. And then, yeah,
Oh, it was meant to be a second level.
you would get both those dice. And then
I don't know why I didn't.
you should be adding his wisdom modifier.
Oh. Can I just roll another D? Is it D8?
You already rolled 2d8, the one up above and the one below.
You roll
Oh,
one on the
I
floor.
see,
It's
I'm
5
sorry.
plus your wisdom.
I see, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's 5 total?
Plus
Or
his
5
wisdom.
plus 3, 8.
8 total, okay.
My mistake.
Oh, that feels better.
And then
And bonus action, Hungry Jaws. At one of the swords.
Okay.
Which is just a bite.
oh, that'll hit.
21 to hit.
Yeah, suck out the marrow.
Since it's a sword, can I get the temporary hit points? I always assumed Hungry Jaws was like, I'm consuming something.
I think it's more the vigor that you're getting from rending it apart. So yeah, go ahead and get the
Neat.
10 hit points. Usually just put those in the green.
Also,
cool.
these swords are also made out of natural material, so you could probably suck
Yeah.
out
Oh, yeah.
the inside of it and a nail.
Oh yeah, they're dragon.
Yeah, the dragon bones. That's why heat metal didn't work.
Right.
Right. Okay. I mean, it's like a dog bone, basically.
Yeah.
That's sweet, sweet, delicious treat.
Attachment to you.
Isaac.
A couple, only 4 more swords to go. Let's get them, boys.
You
Oh,
attack
I think
him.
I'm lagging. So,
Okay.
oh, there we go. 14.
It's a miss on the sword.
All right,
Okay. Anything else? You're good? Ithel?
I'm good.
Yeah, hold on. Ithil is going to do Preserve Life. Or Channel Divinity.
Yeah, so you're going to move out into the group and use it?
Is it not 30 feet?
Yeah, it's 30 feet, but I think it requires sight. Just click it, and I'll read it real quick.
I'm trying to find it.
So on your right side, should be able to
Eight.
click the speech bubble. On the right
Should
side.
be on the right hand side?
Mhm.
No. I don't see it as any of my spells.
not a-
Oh,
it's
never
not a
mind. I
spell.
got it. Dirt. Sorry.
It's okay. Did you click it?
So I can't give anyone more than
Okay.
half their HP.
Yeah, and you don't have to see them.
So okay. So I would like to give Jun 10.
Jun has
Would that bring him up to close to more than half?
Jun has a total of 34 hit points. Because of this, the way this is working, we're just going to be able to kind of siphon who's what. If you heal,
I can take 8.
You could take 8. Great. 8.
and then the lizard can take 12.
Okay, so Isaac doesn't need any. He's good.
Isaac can't get really much of anything.
Great. Excellent. So 8 for Jun, 12 for Cypress.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then as a bonus action,
Isaac has 17 of 39. He could have gotten like what?
2.
2. Yeah. But no big deal.
No worries, I'm
The-
good.
the other
Unless
one-
unless I'm dead, I'm good.
You just healed the other ones to where he's at.
Yeah. Right. I still have like emergency like med pack. I can lay on hands myself.
I'm
Was
just
that
gonna
a-
pop out of cover, cast Sacred Flame, and pop back.
On one of the swords or on her?
On one of the swords, sure.
Okay. Yeah, it fails. The spell fails.
Okay.
Alright. Jun, they appear to be very nimble, the blades.
Stick and move.
Alright.
On a sword.
On a sword, that'll miss.
Disengage.
So it's somewhere between 16 and 18, you guys. Lazarus.
Take another shot at a sword.
Okay.
19.
Hit damage.
6.
Roll d4.
1.
Perfect. You hit the one that's already been bitten on. It knocks it aside and kind of chars the nail of it and sends it like cascading, hitting the tree and bouncing onto the tree.
Nice.
All right. On her initiative, she brings the 3 remaining swords back into her back so that one's like directly behind her spine and the other 2 still kind of form like wing patterns. She holds her sword up. Looks like she's readying an action and like kind of holding. At the end of the initiative count, everybody make a strength saving throw.
Right now,
Yes.
17.
19.
13.
11.
Okay. Cypress and Jun, you maintain your footing. The rest of you fall prone as the ground begins to shake. Jun and Cypress, what you see happen is across the way you can see the military ward. So just a ways off, you can see the ship kind of up above it. From the military ward, from what looks like a tower, like a bell tower, you see this large metal device slam out of it like it was being fired out of a cannon, heading straight towards the ship. Connected to the back of the big metal device is a large black chain, and it just goes flying off and slams right into the underbelly of the ship. The second it does, you see it rend back down and become taut, and you see the ship start to slowly come down.
Oh shit.
Is my ship okay?
It looks like
This
there's a
is gonna be
large hole in the bottom of it.
We can patch it.
She'll go ahead and take her ready to action. She flies 30 feet up. Cypress,
She on the ground too?
she's not. She flies 30 feet up and lands on the roof of this building, up on the chimney. Her sword's flying or stuck in her back. Cypress, you're standing. You can take an opportunity attack. Isaac, you're
Absolutely.
prone. You can take an opportunity attack at disadvantage.
I am biting.
Miss.
16.
Well,
And
yeah.
miss.
Nothing.
Okay. Actually, 16 hits her right now. Deal damage.
That's right. Flail sword wildly.
You cut her in the thigh. As she lands on the roof, she kind of does so like narrowly, and she looks to you down below her, and she says, "I don't have time to be around for this." She looks to Ithel on the other side of the building, just looking down at her, and says, "I'll come back for the sword later." Wilbur, the littlest of Wilburs, your initiative. What would you like to do?
Don't let her escape.
No, she's coming back down. I'm
Whip it.
Thorn Whip.
Okay.
Whip it good.
She deflects the blades. She also has
Do you have
higher.
inspiration?
She has higher positioning right now, from what you can tell. So you know that attacks are being made at disadvantage.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
She basically has a lot of concealment and cover. You're only seeing like the top end of it. So if you do spend inspiration on that, it'll give you advantage, which will subtract the disadvantage, which will still give you a 10.
Right.
Steve,
Damn, we know she's like resistant to magic or like immune to magic because nothing's been working, right?
at least sleep spells, yeah. Firebolts seem to be working fine.
Fuck. And there's no way to scale this building, right? It's pretty.
You can make a climb check to try and get up there, yeah.
We'll have to use half my thing to get up, so I got 15 feet.
If you dash, you can get right next to her if you were able to climb it up. But you gotta make an athletics check to see if you can manage.
Yeah, let's do it. 24.
You kind of rush past Cypress on the side and kind of get onto the ledge and jump up for the awning, grab a hold of it, and like lift your shield arm up, like having sheathed your sword to do it. Lift your shield arm up and kind of catch it onto the tiles, and then snap forward and start pulling your feet up after you. You manage to crawl and then kind of stand up next to her. But you do not have your sword drawn.
Oh yeah, I already used my action was to dash or whatever.
Yep. You do have your shield though. Ithel.
Yeah. going to cast Bless. Yeah, on my three, on Isaac, on Jun, and on Lazarus.
Okay. So plus 1d4 to your attack rolls and to saving throws. Jun?
I will fall back over here and crossbow her.
Okay. You have a better advantage at her, so she'll just have cover AC. Not the disadvantage for the attack upwards. That'll hit, and that'll damage.
Without the D4.
She'd have
Plus
sneak attack.
Plus sneak, right?
Yep.
Just you can put the D4 plus that, right?
20 total.
This is why we climb roofs.
She kind of takes the shot
Oh, boy,
and looks at you kind of with narrowed eyes, but she seems to keep her attention on Isaac. Lazarus?
Can I see her from here?
Yeah, if you back up one more square like you were... Yep. You have a better advantage. She still has cover because she's at a height, but you aren't looking up at her, so she has concealment as well.
Okay. I guess shoot her again.
Okay.
11.
Bolt
Plus
goes
four, you
flying
can roll
wide.
with D4 if you want to.
Yeah, it just a heads up, it won't work.
Yeah,
Save
that's what
it,
I'm
save
thinking.
Yep. Isaac, make a strength saving throw.
24.
She releases the blades from her back, spins them around again. You take half would be 11 points of damage. So 22 total would have been the total if you'd failed. And 11 is what you take. The swords spin around her, snap back into her back, and when they do so, she kind of holds her sword close to herself. Seems like she's readying again for the same thing she did last time, you think. On her initiative, she flies 30 feet. Kind of over you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And lands on the other side of the alleyway. And then she'll take her movement to get to the end of the building there.
Opportunity attack.
Um,
Oh wait, I punch her with in the head with my shield.
you can go ahead and try and make a non-proficient attack. Yeah. Just roll a strength attack, or strength check.
Oh, I punch her real good.
Okay. What's your strength modifier? Is 4, so that'd be 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 damage. Okay.
As she flies away, I'll just yell, "Coward!"
She kind of looks over her shoulder at you with a bit of a red eye. Yep. So Cypress.
I'm at a loss. I don't know if I can catch her. She's another 30 feet higher.
She's 25 feet up, and however far that is away from you.
Can I see her still?
Barely, but yeah.
25 feet up. I don't think I'm gonna be able to.
Yeah, you can.
Is your whip too short?
It's about,
What's the range
it's
on
about
it?
40
I don't
feet.
think the whip can reach her. If she's that high up and
Yeah.
that far into the
You
rooftop.
You can't, because it's 30-foot range. You can't angle it. There's no way.
Right.
Oh, boom! Turn into
Good.
a hawk and peck her eyes out.
Cannot fly. Can I cast Entangle on the
Okay.
rooftop next to her?
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Try
I'll put
to
a
hold her
crate
down.
in whip.
Go ahead and play the spell. Yep. Strength saving throw from her on her when she starts her scene. What's the DC? I got a... no.
13.
I got a... I rolled a 12, and I add +7, so I'm good. Okay.
She did well.
She appears to be pretty strong.
Huh.
Steven?
Yeah, now there's no way I can. I don't think there's any way I can get over there. So guess I'll shoot off my crossbow.
Dropping your... Oh, you haven't drawn your... Yeah, you pull your crossbow. You're going to be making it at disadvantage because you have the shield still.
I,
Nah, man, that's like a +2
16.
shield of aiming.
Miss. No, because you have to hold that arm up to hold the front end of the crossbow up.
even a 17 with my bless.
Oh, that'll work. You're attacking
Yes.
her, right? For the swords.
17. Yeah, you know what? Oh yeah, go for her. Because we need to get her to stop moving.
Damage.
9.
She appears to take that one in the back pretty hard, and you can see that she's starting to bleed quite a bit from her back. Ithel.
Yeah, let her escape.
Ithel, yeah, we're going to attack.
Miss.
No. Miss.
John.
What's the distance from the crates to the red roof, and then from the red roof to the roof she's on?
It would be, she's 25 feet up. It would be 12 feet up for the red roof. So 5 feet off the boxes up to the roof, and then another 15 feet off of the red roof, or 10, 12 feet off of the red roof to her roof. If you wanted to get here, I'd say make an acrobatics check if you're trying to leap up that way, or make an athletics check if you're trying to climb up that way, and we'll figure out what you do based on your results. But is that your goal to get right there?
If I can on the bonus action dash, yes.
Okay, yeah, you can. You're either going to have to dash, or you're going to be able to get there with an attack available. So make an acrobatics or an athletics check, your choice.
14 acro.
Not good enough. So you'll be dashing to get up there, so you'll be arriving at her if you're getting up there, but with no attack. Is that what you want to do?
At what point do I feel like I missed the jump, I guess?
Basically when you're on the red roof.
Alright, then I'll... on the edge of the red roof, under the cover of the other one.
Okay. Lazarus?
Is she running away with like magical means, or is she actually like
She appears
running?
to be flying with her weird wings. But other than that, no.
Fuck. Alright, I was gonna try and like trip her with Mage Hand, but if she's flying, I don't think that's why. I guess shoot her again.
Move out.
15.
Shoot. Miss?
You're blessed though.
Did I use the D4?
Yep, roll it.
So 17.
On the nose. Damage.
9.
Solid. Okay. On her initiative, or on the swords and her initiative, she raises her hand with 2 fingers like this, and then places her fingers down and draws them across in front of her. When she does so, you see the 2 swords of the 3 on her back fly off. One lands in the roof right in front of her. One comes up underneath the roof under the awning, and when she drags her fingers across, you watch as both blades dig across the roof. And then she raises her hands back up, and the swords recombine to her back again. The front end awning of that roof starts to fall forward. Jun, make a dexterity saving throw. Lazarus, make a dexterity saving throw.
20.
You're good. Your current position is not going to be one you can stay in. Upwards is obviously not a forward
Crit.
momentum. You can try and go backwards or down into the boxes. So stay on the red roof and head towards the farther away from her end. Or
I can't fall to the south of the map, just lean into the roof.
no, because that's the part she's cutting off. You'd be leaning into a falling roof. Do you get what I'm saying?
Well, she cut the roof in between she and I, yes?
Yeah. So this part here, this whole section, is falling down.
Of which roof did she cut, I guess?
Her roof.
Okay, because I'm not on her roof. I'm on the one under it.
Right, so you're underneath falling roof. If you move
Yeah,
forward,
so if I move
you're going to
here,
be...
I'm not under falling roof.
That's what I was saying. You can move
Okay,
in
we said
on
the same thing then. just
Yeah.
differently. Yeah,
That's it.
I'm moving here
Okay,
then.
that's fine. And you can make a perception check.
7.
When it hits it causes a lot of smoke and dust to kind of rise up from it, the roof being cut off, and the ground it hits. When you look back up that way, she's not there.
Dig.
All right. We'll go ahead and continue it on. Even though she doesn't appear to be visible. Cypress probably not going to be able to do anything, right? You don't see her where she was. She doesn't appear to have been entangled.
I'm going to give chase. I'm going to beast shape
Okay.
into an ape and take the dash action and climb that roof.
Okay. Make a perception check.
8.
You start chasing off after shadows. All right, Isaac.
I can no longer see her.
Correct.
Just check one thing real quick because I have an idea, but I want to make sure see if I have a better idea.
He waits patiently.
No, okay, yeah. Oh, fuck, I didn't prepare. Damn it. I went out with my normal loadout. I should have didn't prepare it. I'm not gonna be that guy. So, yeah, I will. What's the range on Divine Sense? 60 feet of me. Oh, and I last saw her over here. So, see if I can get as close as I can.
You're gonna jump down the building.
Actually, no, yeah, that's far enough. Yeah, I'll cast Divine Sense if I can sniff her out. Like,
Doesn't appear to be a demon, celestial, strong evil presence, or anything of the undead, fiend, or celestial variety in that direction.
damn, she can't smell her.
Ithel.
Yep. So Ithel, kind of sensing that she's gone, is gonna form up with the others.
John.
I'm gonna walk up this roof.
You see a big ape heading that way too. On the roof that was broken down. Okay.
I'm gonna listen for her.
All right. You can go ahead and make another perception check. This one at a disadvantage. You're not.
11.
You're not sure. And also the sound of steel and just breaking wood, not too far off in the distance, from the overhead current sky battle that's happening, seems to be kind of distracting you. And when you do look over there, it looks like the ship has been lowered down to only like 100 or so feet above the ground instead of the vaunted kind of 500-600 position it was at.
I hope it's okay.
Last chance on anybody doing anything, Lazarus. Do you have anything that you want to try?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. So it appears that she's kind of gotten away. Some really bad perception rolls there, kids. But
Just out of curiosity,
They're your dice.
would detect evil and good? Would have that worked? Because that's what I was looking at.
No.
Or is that essentially the same thing as
What was
Divine Sense?
what was the range on that?
Detect evil and good is 30 feet.
It's even less. So yeah.
Yeah.
Divine,
Okay, never mind.
Divine Sense was out of her range. I won't tell you whether it would have worked or not. I'm just letting you know it didn't. But that said, she appears to have escaped. The situation in the sky above seems to be quite tense, and you notice that there's a large red mass forming on the front, and that screeing sound kind of appears again above you guys, as you heard before. You see the firebolt, the massive meteor gets slammed into the side of the tower that has the chain extending out of it. When it hits, you see a couple of guys fall off of the top of the tower, kind of like just cascading down in the wreckage, and lots of bricks and stones falling from the top of the thing as well. But the chain seems to have been launched from deeper inside the bell tower and still maintains its position. And then the next thing that you guys see is you see the ship itself start to kind of become like white hot in its divides, and then the whole entirety of the ship explodes, smashing the city and military ward beneath it, and a massive just downward explosion. Everybody needs to just make a Constitution saving throw.
15.
9.
8.
Lazarus,
Critical
Cypress, Isaac,
4.
and Ithel. The second it kind of just everything just goes quiet, and all you can hear is wow 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 wow, and a kind of just annoyingly like in the back of your head. Even while people are like yelling at you, you can see their mouths moving, but you cannot hear what they're saying. You are currently deafened.
Bunch of pussies.
Yep. And you wait a couple of seconds, or maybe even a minute or so, and it doesn't seem to be going away. Especially for Isaac.
I'm gonna lay on hands on my ears. You know,
You're no longer deafened if you spend 5 points for it.
there you get. Boom.
I'm paying attention.
Got him.
But a few minutes later, everybody else, besides Isaac, who was actually pretty much permanently deafened, you guys are fine. You can hear fine. And you can see that the military ward, a lot of it has been kind of decimated by that explosion. The ship is gone.
Bummer.
Man, now we gotta go all the way back to that other town so I can get a different one.
Squallow.
So they think they reeled in the ship and it like crash landed and now it's
No.
just wreckage.
They
I
grabbed a
think
hold of the ship.
self-destructed.
The ship came down. She tried to meteor swarm the pillar away so she could get the ship clear. When that didn't work, they self-destructed the ship.
Oh fuck.
The self-destruct was the explosion that kind of came down from the ship and smashed the city. So you saw like there were buildings, warehouses, and the like. Now it's just rubble and ruins, as it's all been hammered down by force and fire into the earth.
Is my house okay?
Your house wasn't in the military ward.
Yeah.
Can we call this a successful resistance?
Yeah.
I'd say this is more scorched earth by the enemy. They blew up their asset before we could take a hold of it.
There's
and you're-
still an army and 13 of those robots outside of the keep too.
Yeah, but they don't have air support.
Okay. How long do you guys wait around before you go and do something?
Can I take a look at those swords we killed?
Yeah. They are all
yeah.
kind
I'm
of
still an ape.
weirdly battered. When you pick them up, they don't look like they're usable. And each one of them has a strange kind of carving in Draconic at the hilt. It's a Draconic rune with a Draconic writing underneath.
I read Draconic.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass them over to Ithel.
It's the letter A,
Dick.
and it seems that a name
I
has
don't know you speak Draconic.
been written into it in the Draconic language. It says Astrid. Each one of them has
Okay.
the same name on it.
Are the dragon scales salvageable?
You're pretty sure that they're pretty battered, but they could probably sell if someone was willing to purchase. Obviously not here in war-torn Drayans, but if you hold on to them, it's 5 or so pounds worth of dragon scale.
Okay.
The fangs are ruined.
Yep.
Or claws are ruined.
Am I
So
any
we-
heals left?
What do you?
Yes,
How much?
I have heals left.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like we're gonna be pressing into another fight, so let's get ready.
As you guys are kind of collecting and gathering and healing each other, go ahead and drop your heals and what have you. But you notice that a number of Griffin riders ride up over the wreckage and seem to be surveying it. They also seem to be kind of coming close to the edge and barrier area. Do you guys want to hide from the Griffin riders, or do you want to?
I'd say the opposite. We should try to hail them. That's who we were trying to get in contact with.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't take much effort. Go ahead again. Toss out your heals as you please. But a pair of the Griffin riders ride out to you and land just in your alleyway. 2 dwarfs, 1 female, 1 male, both with about the same amount of beard. Kind of hop off of their griffins and kind of start walking over to you. One of them is wielding a very large metal hammer. Like, it looks like someone just cast a large block of metal and attached it to a metal stick, and a shield. that appears to be just a solid plate of like an inch thick steel. Kind of starts moseying on over to you. The other guy has a lance. The other dwarf, rather. The female has the shield and hammer. The male has the lance. And they're kind of just walking over to you, and they say, "You're not with the conglomerate. Who are you?" Ugh.
I have everybody for the heal. It's just if you look at the thing,
Yep.
cast heal, prayer of healing. 20.
I'm
everybody
gonna
gets 20.
morph back into Cypress, and I cast.
And that's everybody
Cure
gets
wounds.
20 back.
No, I shouldn't have used my
Everybody.
Oh, really?
things.
Well, you know, let's retcon that because I was having trouble with my thing. So that's what I do.
Yeah,
You not do it. Not do what you did.
What,
Okay.
what were you saying, Cypress?
If we're retconning, I'm gonna stay as a gorilla
Okay.
and hang out behind Ithel.
Yeah, so these two dwarfs are kind of coming towards you with weapons drawn. They say, "You're not with the conglomerate, right? Who are you with?"
We're with us.
You guys want to take the lead? You want me to talk? You guys want to talk?
What are you, some kind of resistance force?
Something like that.
Interesting. Alright. Well, I don't know if you saw what happened, but it's probably not a safe place to stay around here. I don't doubt that they're...
Oh, we watched it happen. We couldn't get there in time.
Well, it's a good thing you didn't try and get there in time.
We came from the church on behalf of the forces there, as well as the dwarves held up at the dwarf bar.
Kilgore's
Kilgore's
Hammer? Kilgore's Forge?
That gravel toes?
Oh, yes. We were hoping to meet up with, I believe, we don't know his name, but he's a half-orc, the man in charge of the military effort.
Are you talking?
Jigram.
Are you talking about Drung?
Yeah.
Wrong.
Yeah, Lieutenant Commander
Yeah.
Drung. He kind of looks over to the destruction. Was leading the efforts at the chain.
Well, he's on the other side now. Who do you know who would then be the next in the chain of command?
Well, it's kind of an ironic way to put it. Chain. He kind of he kind of shakes his head. The girl kind of looks like this, like just.
The gorilla laughs.
And the old man dwarf kind of says, "See that? Now the gorilla got a good sense of humor."
I have a dead serious face. There was no intent of humor.
I know,
I'm not a funny person.
but he tried to do it like a dad pun, and it seemed to have gone over well with the gorilla.
Really wanted to
He
lighten up the mood.
he says, "It would have to be." Well, I think it would have to be. I don't know. You can report back to base with us while they try and figure it out. The girl says, "Well, I know it's not me."
Yes, let's go back to. We want to consolidate the remaining forces in the city so that we can end this occupation by the conglomerate.
Okay. You guys start heading over that way with these two dwarfs. The
Will they
dwarfs
carry us on their griffins, or is that too
No,
many people?
Too many people. The female gets on her horse or her griffin and rides, heads back over to the search group. Seems to kind of regroup with them. The male dwarf is leading his griffin as it walks across the stones and heads that way. In between you and where you're going, you're kind of crossing over like the edge of the destruction that was just wrought, and it looks like thousands of magic missiles and like burning hands were kind of just cast downwards at the ground and smashed into it. It looks like the ground has been hammered down and burnt black. Portions of the buildings that were there still kind of stay present, but are barely standing. If someone were to walk over and push hard enough, they might be able to knock over a whole two-story. The dwarf doesn't really lead any conversation, but if anybody has any questions for him.
Is there any wreckage of the ship, or is it like vaporized?
From this vantage point, it looks like there isn't much in the way of remains.
Their bodies.
There are bodies throughout the entirety of the place. You're not sure which is which.
Any red Magier
But
bodies?
as you're kind of looking up to the sky, looking at the ground, make a dexterity saving throw, Ethel.
18.
You narrowly dodge as something kind of whistles down towards you and hits the ground. When it does so, it appears to be a top portion of a human body cut from clavicle to underarm. So an arm and a head and a bit of the chest of a conglomerate guard. Just comes flying and smashes on the ground near you.
Nice. I'm gonna duck then and try to get under cover.
Yeah, no, you kind of dodge to the side with that saving throw. And
But there's no other
Oh.
bodies that are coming to ground.
it looks like pieces of the
It's
ship
raining
are
men.
still kind of
Right.
cascading down.
Right.
That one just
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
that one just happened to be at a perfect angle to fire in your direction.
Okay.
Does the military have any idea what the conglomerate is after?
No idea, but now that their ship's gone and they don't have any reinforcements, we're thinking we'll probably see about mustering what we've got to try and take back the keep.
Well, I hope you have some sort of sizable force, or can at least take on the forces at the church. They've got 13 of the Nyctalopes, their automatons, in a very strong formation in front of the keep. Breaking that line would be difficult.
He pats his lance and he says, "I've already killed 4 of them.
By yourself?
Well, there were some other people with us, but my lance seems to be doing quite well against the. You just have to hit them in the tops.
Do you have more lances in your armory?
No, this is my lance.
No, just lances in general.
Yeah, well, sure, but this one's mine. You can tell that it looks pretty spiffy.
Ithel would
I might
say,
pick one of those up then.
yeah, well, Ithel would say, we hear that there might be political prisoners kept in the keep.
Oh, we're hoping so. We hope they didn't just outright slaughter the Duke and his family. Otherwise, the line of Drayans might end here. That wouldn't be good.
I think we would like to assist you in your efforts to try to retake the keep.
Oh, of course. Well, let's get off to the camp then. Let's get off to the main office, and they start heading that way. The Griffin has been kind of looking at the ape, kind of not really a fan of the ape. It's only about 20 or so minutes of walking until you kind of get to the location where you're going. And when you do finally arrive, you see that the camp is filled with soldiers and people kind of mustering. There are some Griffin riders kind of returning down from their survey as you guys are entering into the scene. The dwarf looks to you and says, well, I can't help too much in getting you to who you need to speak to, but he kind of points towards one direction, and you see like there's a table, and there's a number of people around the table kind of pointing at a map and yelling at each other while soldiers are walking past that table. He says, that's where the commander is probably going to be if there is one. Nods his head. Good day.
Ithel looks to Isaac to lead on.
To the commander's table.
When you get there, you see that there are a number of humans, but most of them people here are dwarves. And as you're kind of approaching, you hear one of the dwarves say, if reports are true, Varn is dead. And that's the leader of the dwarves. And if reports are also true, it would seem that the Duke and the King's military are gone. You hear kind of burlier voice say, well, if that's so, then we're going to have to choose somebody. We've been chatting about it for a while now, so we need to come to a determination. When you kind of get close enough, you see that the man speaking is wearing full plate armor, covered with runes. It looks like chiseled into the chest area is a strange gemstone with, like it's just a marking that looks like a gemstone with wings. And he is of darker skin, bald head, and he has a warhammer sitting on the table in front of him. Standing near him is an elf who looks like he has seen better days. In fact, it looks like he has been beaten, bloodied a dozen times in the past. But he has a bow sitting out in front of him that's made out of dragon bone. And he looks to the dark-skinned man and says, "Well, Stenin, I trust your leadership, unless you want me to do it." Stenin kind of looks at him and
It's our
shakes his head.
boy.
And then you see a third member kind of walk over to the table and set his hand down on the table and look to them and say, "I think if anyone's going to do it, it should be me." And when you all look at this man, he appears pretty sturdy, a pretty sturdy fellow, but lithe and like thin. His hair is kind of long and unkempt. And he's wearing kind of just very regal-looking leathers. Looks a bit like a swashbuckler or a bravo, swordsman, a fencer type. When he places his hand on the table and he says, "I think it should be me," you kind of see the person who's been addressed as Stenin nod his head, this elf person nod his head, and a couple of the other individuals who are at the table nod their heads in turn, yielding to this other individual. And they say, "Of course, Lord Ankenbrandt, you shall have the position." And that's where we'll leave off for today. That'll be the end of the session.
Is the elf Aramil?
Yeah.
All right.
Whoa, with
West Marches.
memories of Westmar.
I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream. Thanks for watching. Sorry if the music was too loud at the beginning. It just keeps on trying to switch to banging audio on there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Stopping stream.